Hey, friends, welcome to the Spirit the Beyond Files. I'm Beck, and this is Rach.
Ready to question reality? You're in the right place.
Let's dive in.
I don't know if you guys have ever had a Mickey Mouse cup. You have a cup that has stuff written on the inside. A Mickey Mouse cup specifically has Mickey written on the inside. And when you're drinking liquid, you can see the reflection on the surface of the liquid. And the reflection actually says wicked.
You think that was premeditated?
Yes.
You think that's why Walt named his infamous character Mickey?
Yes.
Did it catch you off guard?
No, I had always known in my gully that Mickey was wicked, just filthy. You can actually see Mickey in a factory in one of his episodes where he's making Swiss cheese. And basically what he's doing is there's a conveyor belt and he's taking each one of these blocks of cheese and he's putting it up to his area 1 and poking a hole through the cheese with it. So he's actually going like this to the cheese.
And he's making the Swiss.
Yeah, he's making holes in the cheese with his mouse.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, Mickey's reflection says it all. Well, they're right. What's without liquid lights? People love Disney, but I just... No.
I will go to that one.
I will go to that library every day. Really?
Yes.
I mean, there's definitely attachments to those books. I think there's attachments. That's what I think's going on there. But do you think most libraries are haunted?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I just go to libraries more often.
If you don't believe in ghosts, stop what you're doing because I guarantee I will change your mind before the end of this video. Behind me is a picture that I took in 2010, and in my opinion, it is one of the best paranormal photos ever taken. If anyone else had taken this picture, I truly would have never believed that it was not photoshopped. I would be convinced that it was fake and that the person who took it was a liar. So the only thing that you have to go by is my word, but I promise you, you are not expecting what I'm about to show you. So to set the scene, back in 2010, this is when we would carry digital cameras around and take pictures and then upload them to our computer and then Facebook. Some friends and I went to Waffle House late at night, and whenever we left, we all ran into the car and locked one of our friends out. She then jumped on the windshield to keep us from driving away. I thought it was funny, so I took a picture of it. As you can see, this is the photo. Right here on the passenger seat is my friend Lindsay. She has blonde hair. This is all relevant, I promise. Right here in the shotgun seat is my friend Valerie. She had brown hair. And then I'm sitting in the very back in the middle with my brown hair. And then you can see the outline of our friend Brittany. She had jumped on the windshield. See anything weird? Probably not yet, because I never noticed it until I posted the picture on Facebook and someone called something very creepy out. So now I'm going to turn your attention to the rearview mirror. You can see the top of my friend Lindsay's head, her strawberry blonde hair, as she was turned to the side, looking at my friend and laughing. Now I'm going to zoom in and I want you to take a closer look. Here we are zoomed in. Again, you can see her head right here, the whole outline. You can even see her little wispy stray hairs. Now look directly behind her head and tell me who is the man sitting behind her with the blonde hair, the defined brow bone, the eye divot, and the nose. I was sitting in the back seat in the middle with no one else back there. And here it is outlined if you're having trouble seeing it. Again, this picture is 14 years old, and at this point, I have literally shown it to hundreds of people, and I wouldn't be surprised if thousands have seen it. This has truly become a picture that so many of my friends and family know about, and they'll share it with their friends and family. It's been passed around a lot. It's been sent into paranormal investigators. I have never been able to get a logical explanation as to what it is that we're looking at. We've even put the picture in Photoshop to play around with the saturation and lighting to see if it was just a trick with our brains and tried to look at it a different way. One time, a paranormal investigator said this was simply the headrest of the seat in the car. I want to know what car headrest looks like this because I ain't never seen one like that. It's crazy, and I need someone to give me an explanation. 14 years later, this picture still gives me chills. It still creeps me out, and I think it is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. If you like this, share it with someone you know, and comment and give me your idea of what you think it could be, or if you actually think it's a ghost. Happy Halloween!
I think it's a hitchhiker. A literal definition of a hitchhiker.
A lot of people think that ghosts only are transparent or white, and it's not true. I have seen apparitions that are solid, like
Yeah.
a solid person. So that could definitely be a ghost.
I think so. I think he just wanted a ride.
Hanging out with the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce you to the idea of water as an intelligent designer. Here I exposed water to my friend's photo, removed and froze using a special method, and it designed her face. I showed the ice result to the water, and it designed a negative of her face. I briefly placed my thumb in the water and then froze it, and water designed a thumb with a chip in the nail. I chipped my nail in exactly the same place 3 hours later. Here I used a conceptual word of ego. It's a word I have no visual for, which removes any mental projection, and water designed a person with big shoulders, a small face, and a giant balloon head. I used the word milk as an influence, and water designed a breast. I wasn't thinking of human milk, so this was a surprise. You notice that the ice designs are not photocopies of the influence, but more of an interpretation, and to me, this is clear display of some kind of awareness. I honestly don't think we know what water really is yet.
I want to try it.
I think his name was Masaru Emoto. He did these experiments where he used rice and he put it into 3 different jars. And one rice, he yelled at the rice and he was angry with the rice. And another jar, he was just kind of neutral. And then the last jar, he spoke words of love to the rice. And when he did that, the rice that he yelled at, it ended up being moldy and dark and gross. The rice that he ignored, which was the neutral rice, it just rotted. And then the rice that he spoke love to, it actually stayed fresh and good looking. I think everything's made up of energy. And so water's made of energy. I think that's real. And you can actually do it. There's experiments. I mean, she showed that you can do it. I definitely would want to try it though.
And imagine things like that, how much we actually affect each other, the way that we talk and what energy we put into each other.
That's true. And plants, they've done studies with plants where if you play death metal music to the plant, it doesn't like it. But if you play classical music, it actually starts thriving and it seems to be happier. So, yeah.
If we move to the dunce cap, so that's the work of Mary Hardy. She was talking about how when people would wear dunce caps, they would be able to focus. That was the whole point of it. They would put a pyramid on top of their head, and it would allow the cells to actually spin back the opposite direction, because she said that most people who are dyslexic are actually just spinning the opposite way. And so she actually experimented because her son was dyslexic, and they put a pyramid on top of his head and he started being able to focus. And it's funny because, like you said, when you're the bad kid in school, then they do that to you to shame you. But in reality, you're going to be more focused now because you actually have that hat on.
I know there's what's called the pyramid effect, and it has been known to influence physical things. So if you took a razor blade that was sharp and put it under a pyramid, it would remain sharp. I lived in a house in Beeville, and it was a pyramid house.
Oh.
Yeah. And our garbage never rotted. Like, it just didn't rot. Who would have think a dunce cap could rewire your brain so that you could become undyslexic? That's even a word.
I think I'm just going to have in stock dunce caps, and I'm just going to throw them on kids and people.
With design, maybe with like a to the spirit logo on it.
Yeah. Be like, if someone's like getting on my nerves, like, here, just wear this for a little bit.
I've always thought that my daughter was my grandmother reincarnated. I gave her a picture of her today, and you guys tell me what you think. This is the first time showing Arrow this picture. I want to see how she reacts. Who is that? Just touching her own face. What the fuck? Is that your... Arrow, who is that? Why were you just touching your own face? Is that yours?
Should we put this away?
Who is that, Arrow?
How?
I know Dr. Jim Tucker did studies on hundreds of cases of children. He was able to deduce that not only were they able to remember their past lives, but they could give specific details.
The way that she touched her face, too, it was so genuine. She knew that was her. And
Yeah.
she's like, that's my face.
And even for being as little as she was saying,
Me, that's me.
Yeah. Like what you see, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon so that you can be reminded every time we put up a new video. Your enthusiasm fuels our explorations, and we can't wait to share more incredible videos with you.
Michelangelo's David, one of the most famous sculptors of all time. It's been studied for over 500 years. Countless people see it every year. You've learned about it in school, in art class, and how Michelangelo was a genius, yes. But what does David's pupils look like? Were they carved in round like normal pupils, or were they smoothed over in your timeline? Well, actually, they're hearts. Yes, David has hearts carved into his pupils. Now, I know in my timeline that I wasn't no art aficionado, and I know that I've learned about it. Hell, I've even seen it. But I know that there were no hearts in his eyes, and that would be a focal point for anybody studying the subject of why he did that. He made a perfect, anatomically correct sculpture that we all love and say and give his genius to, but yet he made hearts in the eyes, and nobody talked about that. Why is that not a subject of interest? I know in my timeline that that wasn't there. Let me know, did David have hearts in his eyes in your timeline, or did it change? Let me know. It's us.
When I tried to research Michelangelo's David, it did say that it was just his eyes were hearts.
I don't know. I was an art major. I took art history. It was never brought up. Even, any art classes in high school, it has never been discussed that his eyes were hearts. So I can't confirm or deny that.
I never studied art history,
Yeah.
so I wasn't sure, but
I feel like I would have known because
there's been a lot of weird things along the way, though, that people are noticing. And some of them, especially with music, I definitely can tell there's been a shift in some kind of timeline. But with this one, I'm not so sure. Maybe all you art history majors out there can leave a comment down below and let us know. Did Michelangelo's David have hearts originally, or what? What's going on?
I did fall asleep a lot in art history.
Watch very carefully, because no one can explain what happened to Cardi B.
Yes, be involved. Y'all want to be involved so bad, but nobody asked me about them gift. What's good?
Look at the other host.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. Take the gift cards.
Now notice how he claps 3 times and then it's as if nothing ever happened.
Take the gift cards, take the gift cards, take the gift cards.
Yeah, because they might put, what's that thing that was going around in the...
The internet had a lot of questions to ask when this clip was first released.
He didn't move, blink, or nothing.
Notice how the presenter suddenly changes when she says, Holy Ghost.
Yeah, it's like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there is a lot of memories today, actually. It's a big day in music history.
The king of rock and roll, and as Mark Cohn says in his great song, Walking in Memphis, there's a pretty little thing waiting for the...
As you can see, not everything is as it seems.
Perfecto, Mariano. Empezamos muy atentos entonces a las novedades. Mariano. Mariano. Vamos a...
But here is the big question. What do you think is the reason for all of these celebrities freezing on live TV? I don't have an answer, and that's why I'm asking you.
These glitches always fascinate me. I think it's MK Ultra shit myself.
They don't seem natural, or they're really putting on a performance to
Yeah, but
make
just
you talk about 'em.
really?
Like, I mean, it could.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, though. They're all just freezing like that. There's something up with this. I don't know what it is. I feel like it is some kind of programming that they're doing to these people.
Especially when it's on live TV, like they're a news reporter.
That's the
and all of a
thing.
sudden you just freeze.
Right. And then trigger words and clapping, like Holy Ghost or
Yeah,
the
that
cla-
one was really odd.
The dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Fuck! What the fuck? Too scared to open my door.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. What I told you. Come here.
The reason I had to move out of my flat. I was home alone.
Gabe, it's your mother. You should come out.
Then what's your name then?
That literally just gave me a chill through my body just watching that shadow move away.
I learned a while ago I am not a mountain person. Never. Nope, you're not going to catch me living in the mountains. I'll visit, maybe. I think there's such a long and rich history, as you and I both know, the Appalachians. I think there's going to be lots of stories that come out of there.
When it's in your house,
Yeah.
like the shadow outside, okay, there's a barrier. It might not be able to come in, but when it's in your
Right.
house, what do you do? Cool.
We got a story about a year ago that was really creepy, and this took place in East Texas. And this fella liked to hunt hogs. Hunting's kind of expensive, so he wanted to get him a nice thermal scope. You know, we're talking about a good one. They're about $5-6 grand to put on his AR-10. So he goes out there in this real thick piney wood forest. He puts his back against a tree and sits down on the ground, and there's glass in this area with that thermal scope. Well, he sits there for about an hour and a half and no hogs. So he's like, well, maybe I should move. So he's like, okay. He gets up, he moves about 150 yards away from where he was previously sitting, sits down, puts his back to the tree again. Now he's glassing in the opposite direction, looking for stuff. Well, about that time, he sees the heat signature of something moving. And he's like, oh yeah, pigs are coming in. This is going to be it. He gets ready. Well, he starts watching this thing. And at first, he thought it was a bear. But then he said the more he watched it, it wasn't a bear. He said it looked like a naked human, like a naked human being. And he said this thing was crawling on all fours, and it crawled directly to where the tree he was just sitting at. And he said this thing is getting its face up to the bark, and it's examining, and it's transfixed on where he was just sitting. And he's watching all this, and it looks like a white signature through his thermal scope. He said this thing sits down, and it puts its hands between its legs, and it's like squatting. And he says it looks directly in his direction.
Oh, no.
And he's like, oh, no, I think it can see me. And he said it looks up like a wolf is going to howl. But he says, it says, help. I need help. And he said it's in a woman's voice. And he said a few seconds later, it says again, I'm injured. I need help. Is there someone that can help me? And he's like, man, I don't know. He takes his AR off safety and he shoots around over its head. He doesn't want to shoot it just in case it's a person. He said it doesn't move. He said it breaks to the left and starts running. And he's trying to follow it, but there's all these trees and brush noise, so he's losing it. He says he touches off another round. Pow! It's still moving. But where it's moving is the opposite direction of where his truck is. So he's like, I'm not messing around. He said he ran to his truck. And he ran faster than he's probably ever ran. He got in his truck. And he's like, I don't know what that was.
Never used a scope again.
Never didn't.
See, that would be
always
one.
like,
Where
did it go?
Where is he? That would be
God.
one I wouldn't go. I don't know if I'd hunt.
I get chill bumps every time.
I just got it. Yep.
Every time.
Give me some Migo Lord of the Ring.
I'm getting
Kind of vibe.
Skinwalker vibes
Yeah.
on that. I don't know. Didn't it sound like they said he chased it? I know he
Yeah.
shot above it to scare it, but didn't it sound like he chased it?
I think he watched it in his scope. He watched.
Oh, you think he was still up
Yeah.
in the stand and
Yeah.
then he hauled? Okay.
He was still from the tree.
Nope.
I would.
Another nope for me.
I would just be living in the tree forever. The fact that he got down and ran to his truck, I'd still be scared that the thing would follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want? Don't laugh, Arlene. I ain't got time for that shit. All right, goodbye. Goodbye.
We just like to end our episode with funny, uplifting videos. Maybe not all the time, but sometimes you just need it, especially after watching Skinwalkers.
Yeah.
Thanks for delving into the unknown with us here at To the Spirit, The Beyond Files. Until next time, keep your mind open and your spirit ready for the extraordinary. Stay curious, explorers.